I said, I want it to be a place for my grandson to be able to come to get away from the outside world. A place for him to come and rest and be peaceful. And that's what I want the Conservancy to be, is a place for everybody just to enjoy this and learning about another culture and enjoying it, but also maybe to say, your people and wherever you came from had boats, they had baskets, they had to carry their things in something. You got out on water if you were near water. I hope that inspires them, or it at least makes them curious to know something about their own roots. But it's not just a native thing, it's anybody, it's for everybody. We encompass Calusa, Yolo, and Solano. Calusa being my home, that's where I was born. Because I feel so strongly about it, and it's such a good feeling. It's like, I'm home. This is just my home. It's not only just my house, but this is the land my people were, that this is where they lived. And we started working on language. Bertha told me, why don't we just meet at the Conservancy? It's pretty down there. And so that's how we got started. In the one photo of us, that's where we always met. We went and sat at the elderberry bush, and you can see it's in the spring because it's flowering yet. They're blooming right now. It's springtime, and she was gathering for the white part of the baskets. And so she's so neat to watch. And I wish we could get her in action, where she uses her teeth and just splits that whole thing all the way down. It could be 2 feet long, and she can just do it all in practically one motion almost. And then in the fall, she would gather for the colored part, for the design. Split them for the dark part of the design. I mean, everything, it's just like looking at a Rayleigh's supermarket if you want. You can look out there and see all the edibles. I was out there for the last meeting the TGG had. I was chewing on miner's lettuce because it's all young and popping up all over the place. So I just kind of rubbed it off and was eating it. And I've never tried tule shoots, but I heard those are good, and I haven't tried that. I need to do that this year. I've never tried. Just about everything is edible. There's a lot of teas, there's medicines, and so when you look out there, it's CVS and Safeway. I mean, everything is there, the whole community. When sometimes I've heard it sound like we were just hunters and gatherers and diggers, and we wandered all over the place. But we didn't. We had stores, we had drugstores, we had our ceremonies and our dance houses, which would be like our church, and we had things that could be Home Depot. We had a community just like anybody else's community. But I do remember one, and it was for Dinik, and that's in English, the fringed red maid, which is a short, kind of a ground cover, almost bright magenta flower on it. And they used the seeds from that. They roasted them and cooked them up and rolled them into little balls. And you ate them. They were delicious. I loved them. Then when you talked afterwards and talked to everybody and smiled, you had little black seeds stuck in your teeth. Auntie Jenny described it as you put them in a pan and roasted them. And she said they're popping all over and they're real oily. Everybody got together and it was a fun time. It's just willow and redbud, and I never, like I said, I didn't see my grandmother gather. I know in her trunk, because this is where she kept all her baskets, and my grandfather's dance regalia. We had rolls and rolls of yellowhammer feathers, because he was a lead dancer, because they led the big head in. That was his dance, but we had rolls and rolls, and in this trunk is where they kept all these kind of things, the baskets and her kodoi. We had strands and strands. It stored acorn. The poles that are upright are willow. Wrapped around it is grapevine. And what they did was stored mugwort, geti, inside to keep bugs and things like that away. And we'd fill it with acorns and store it for later use. And we didn't have freezers and things like we do nowadays. In the bottom, there's a rock. And you pull the rock out just like a little lever and open the door, and you let out however many acorns you want, and then shove it back in and close it. Diana had the day where we built a tule boat. It was just an amazing day. It was like a feeling of going to the Benaba when we had dinners, the excitement and the fun. The whole day just built more and more because we were going to take it down to the pond. When you enter here, leave the new world outside, walk, smell, look, and listen, and you'll leave with a good spirit.